Welcome back. So in this next video, we are going to see the first ride of the whole trip and a big decision that laid ahead that really could shape the rest of the journey. One that was bigger than even I could imagine. And it's crazy because I look back and I sit and I watch that first video. And one story that I haven't shared with anybody is the morning of the beginning of the trip, one of the big news stations out in California came out to film us, and Gammy was tied up to the trailer. And one of the news anchors came with this big old camera and wanted to come up and pet her, and I wasn't there. I was just kind of in the distance. And before you know it, she was pulling back on the trailer and almost flipped herself over tied up. And that guy probably looked at Gammy and looked at me and was like, this guy's gonna ride that horse across the country bridleless? But what it did to me was show why it was so important to take off the bridle, to take off the halter, and see what kind of connection that we could make together from day one, from moment one, on a trip of a lifetime. Good morning, guys. I am standing here. I know I'm not on a horse, but we have about an hour before we leave. We spent all morning with ABC 10 News out here in Sacramento. They came out to the farm here and just did a little bit of story on Gamila and the journey that we're going to be going on. And I'm, really just so thankful. I don't really know what I'm going to say here, but yesterday was the first time that it hit me when I was looking at the map again and where we're going for this first day that we're actually doing this. And I'm blessed, I'm thankful for my sister, for my mom, dad, entire family, all the friends, all the support, for being able to kind of live with me in this journey. And the whole why is a big thing that we've talked about leading up, but the why is simple. The why is that we want to share the love and the passion that these horses have given us back to the world. And the reason we're doing it bareback and bridleless is because it garners the attention that it deserves, because it's showing that we can do less to get more. We can give hope, we can give love, and we can give back each and every day, one person at a time, by showing what love and showing what getting a horse, a prey animal, the opportunity to trust a human can be. And as we go through each state, as we're visiting these rescues, as we're visiting the nonprofits, whether it's working with veterans or youth, along the way, I'll be taking each and every one of you guys with us. And there is no person on the planet that I'd rather be doing this than with my sister. And there'd be no other horses on the planet I'd want to be. And we are going to have a lot of fun along the way. We're going to have some amazing stories. But all I ask is that if you do have faith, just pray for us. And I wanted to kind of end in a prayer here. And I'm going to bow my head. I'm going to take my hat off. Don't feel pressured to. But this is a journey that we're going on and that we can't do alone. We have to live in our faith, and we have to live with one another. And I think it's going to be up to everybody to just share a little bit of love. So I'm just going to bow my head, just say a quick prayer, and then we're going to get going. God, please help Nettie, Gammy, Hal, and I have a safe journey. And please give us the opportunity to give way more than we can take. Give us the opportunity to see this beautiful country that we live, and allow us and present us the opportunities and the insight to be able to help others and to help horses that need it. Even if we're able to benefit one person and change one person's life and one horse's life, it'll make this trip worthy. So all we ask is that you give us the strength and the courage to take one step at a time and see this great country and all that it has to offer. Amen. Thank you, guys. Again, I appreciate all your support. We wouldn't be here without you, and we just can't wait to get started. I love y'all. Take care. All right, guys, just walked out the front gate. Jamie's having a little pre-workout snack, and we are on mile 1. headed to Georgetown, Kentucky in October. I love y'all. Thanks for supporting. Now it's time to ride, baby.
How do you feel?
I feel like I'm about to start a soccer game and throw butterflies in my stomach. But Gammy's relaxed for me. She doesn't know what's coming.
You mind if we join you on this first little piece of the road? Because me and Hal said we're not for the whole thing, but we'll join you for a little bit.
Let's do it.
There's beautiful Camellia. Hey, sweetie.
Can't wait, guys. Love y'all.
How's your butt feel?
So far, so good. See here, mile 2.
Yeah? It's beautiful out here. Anybody out there have any words of advice for Pat? Come one, come all.
Any words of advice would be greatly appreciated. Some prayers would be appreciated. Don't die might be the best advice.
Yeah, that would be great. Gammy, any words of advice?
It's like I'm done with this already.
Yeah, do you have any idea? It's beautiful. We're out here in Slough House, California. That's Northern California. Visiting our brother and sister's farm, Passmore Caviar. And if you're just joining us, this is Pat and Gammy on mile 1 of their long trek across country, bareback and bridleless. Luckily for Gammy, she has a bareback pad, so it's no saddle, no stirrups, but they both have some padding. Let's see. People said, Maggie said, you got this. Katie said, have fun. Sammy said, happy 1 mile. A journey starts with the first step. Amen to that.
Right.
Becky said, stay safe. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Hey, Danny. Danny said, stretch, pray, and hydrate. So excited for your journey. We forgot yoga this morning.
Got a yoga pad in the trailer.
That was my yoga pad that you didn't want to have, but I made you take it. This is mile 1. It's a whole lot of fields. Mariah said, happy trails, be safe and have fun. Tiffany Cook says, very cool, enjoy your trip and be safe.
Thank you, guys.
Stephanie said, a beautiful journey and have fun.
Might need to ride backwards. I'm bored already.
If you're bored already, you got quite a way. And me and Hal are going to drop off over here on this White House up here. Donna said, will you be on all country roads? Yes, that is the plan. We will not be on any kind of big interstates or anything like that. Well, but that's not an interstate. Tina, is that Black Arabian? Yes, she's an Egyptian Arabian. How old is Camellia?
She's 9 2 days ago.
She's 9 2 days ago. We didn't do a birthday shout out? Wow. Sorry, Gammy. Gammy is very chill and happy. She loves not being controlled in her head. There you see, she's a little sass to tell you. Cheryl said, beautiful, love to you both and safe travels. Amen to that. Very nice.
Thanks, guys.
Mandy said, I love this so much. I can't express how much. It reminds me of my mare and I. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
I'll tell you what, for all you guys and your horses that have always dreamed of a journey like this is why we're doing it. It's not for us, it's for everybody.
I don't know if you can hear Patrick, but he said this is for all of us. Danny said, happy birthday, Gammy. Lauren said, good luck. Thank you. We'll need it. Tina said, where are you riding to? Do you want to tell them where you're riding to?
We're riding to Georgetown, Kentucky.
Georgetown, Kentucky.
Kentucky horse farm.
Kentucky from California. That's only a couple days, right?
Right, 4 days.
Tina said, happy belated birthday, Gammy. I know. We didn't even make her a carrot cake or anything.
My butt is going to be sore. I'm already kind of sore.
Well,
I chose this path.
You did choose this path, and somehow I chose this with you. Still debating. All right. right, Slough House, California. It's beautiful out here. Beautiful farm country in Northern California. This is Hal. This is actually, that's my brother, it's Pat. That's Gammy, and this is Gammy's brother, Hal. He's gonna join us and be the backup horse when Gammy needs a rest. So we're hoping to rotate him in every few days. So yeah. Let's see. Tina, we're actually in California and Patrick's riding to Kentucky, so he's got a long way to go. Very good. All right, we got a few more minutes and then we're gonna drop off here, and I'm gonna let Pat go on his own merry way, and me and Hal are gonna go back to the trailer. We're gonna cheat and meet him up the road a little bit. What do you think, Hal? I think he thinks that's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea too. I might hide in the trailer.
Nope, I'm here to hold you accountable. That's what big sisters are for. I'm gonna make sure you and that butt sit in that seat for the entire journey. Yep. So we appreciate you guys joining along on our first mile. We're almost to the road where we're gonna drop off Pat, and we're gonna all wish him farewell and good luck, and we'll catch up with them about midday in a few hours. So yeah, this is another view of Northern California farmlands. So beautiful. So beautiful out here. So we appreciate your prayers. We appreciate your safe travels. Oh, and look at Gammy's boots. She's wearing easy boots.
They're Air Jordans for horses.
Pat calls them Air Jordans for horses. Air Jordans is a basketball reference. Michael Jordan, he thinks he's funny. But, oh, Gammy. So yeah, here we are. We're coming to the end of this road, and we're gonna watch Pat off into the sunset, although it's midday.
Be careful when we get to this road, all these cars.
Yeah, I will. He said safe ride all the way. Kim said love you guys, safe travels.
Thank you.
All right, Pat, well, me and Hal are gonna end it here. We wish you farewell.
Love you guys.
Have a good trip, and we'll catch you in a few hours, all right? Bye-bye. So I finished up the first ride. I think it was just over 20 miles. It was a good day. It was a long day. Gammy handled everything so very well. I mean, I couldn't ask for more. She was confident. She was good-minded. She went through cars. People were honking and yelling at us. And it was just one of those things that was going through my body and going through my mind saying, we are doing this. We are actually taking the first step, because a lot of times that first step is the hardest step. And for that, I was incredibly excited, but a little anxious as well. So after the first day, there was just something eating at me. And it wasn't Gammy, it wasn't how she handled things, because she was perfect. She could have done this. But it was me looking back that said, why am I doing this journey to begin with? It's for the horse. It's for them given the opportunity to think, to talk. And I was talking to Nettie that night after we made it back, and it's like, Nettie, I think we need to skip the Sierra Mountains. And she's like, no, we just started. It's the first day. We can't lose our following when you promised everybody you'd ride across the country bridleless. But to me, it was the exact reason why we began this trip to begin with. It wasn't to go coast to coast. It was to show ourselves that we could take the bridle off. We could give our horses the opportunity to think. We could give our horses the opportunity to connect and grow together. So at this juncture, the very beginning, it could have derailed the whole trip by saying, hey, we're gonna hop on the trailer and we're gonna skip 20 miles of the Sierras. And I slept on it and I woke up with the same feeling. And I said, this is gonna happen. And I'm gonna be honest about it, because it would have been easy to hop in that trailer, to skip the mountains and just pretend it never happened. But I'm a believer in transparency, I'm a believer in honesty. And what happened after that, to me, was life-changing. Because it was such an important decision. And when we made that decision and we went for it, we came out on the other side
so much better and so much more ready for what lies ahead. Because at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about your horse.
Morning, guys. I tell you what, we got a little bit of an update for you. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard for me to say, but I wanted to, we're trying to be just transparent and trying to be open about all this. And yesterday, Gammy was phenomenal, the 20 miles. And, we planned on taking Highway 88 through the Sierras. But the more we look and going through the ride yesterday and talking to different people, there just really isn't a safe way to get over the Sierras without having pack horses, and that's just not how we're designed. So what we've decided to do is we've decided to pack up and drive over the Sierras. So it'll be about 100 miles that we're missing, so that's about 5 days. But we just feel like the horses don't have a choice about their safety, and if there's no shoulder and there's no place to ride with cars going 55 miles an hour, it's just not right. And I have no doubt Gammy could do it, but it's up to us to put them in a safe situation. And this is not something that I would have done a while back, but it's not about the ego, it's not about the pride, it's about being able to give back and show that the relationship with your horse is number one. And if I have to skip 100 miles to keep my horse safe, that's what we're gonna do. And Gammy proved yesterday that she can ride anywhere, and she's not worried, but she doesn't have that choice. It's our choice. So what we're gonna do for these 5 days is we are going to stop at another rescue and donate our time for 5 days to make up for this 100 miles we're missing. And we're still gonna be going over 2,500 miles on our journey, but the number one thing is keeping this girl and this boy behind us safe. And that's all that matters, because if we get hurt, there is no more giving, and I'm not worried about her. It's just the cars that scare me. So we're gonna pack up, we're gonna load these horses up, we're gonna drive over the Sierra to Topaz Lake over on the other side in California, and we're gonna continue our journey from there. But we just want to be very transparent. We want to just be open and talk to you guys and just be real, is that we care about the safety of our horses, and this whole mission is to give horses a second chance, to give back to charity, and we just wanted to keep you all in the loop. So if you have any questions, let us know. But we just feel like, after talking to people, after really riding it yesterday for the first leg, and as we get into the Sierras, it's just going to get more sketchy and more sketchy, and we just felt like it was the right thing to do with having a trucker trailer to load them up and continue the journey. But I appreciate all your support. We're just trying to stay safe out here, and I love you guys. If you have any questions, holler at me. If you want to send me an individual message, let me know. But prayers are still welcome, and we're going to either get rolling this afternoon, start riding again, or first thing in the morning, just depending on how this trip goes. So we'll talk to you later. Thanks, guys.
Morning, guys. So Gammy, Hal, and I, and my sister Nettie made it across the Sierras yesterday. I think it was a great decision. After driving through, it was some crazy narrow roads with no shoulders, and it would have been really sketchy. So we made a really good decision. I think we skipped somewhere around 90 miles or 100 miles or whatever it ended up being. So we're gonna make up with that by headed up to another rescue, and we're really excited. We're headed out there next Friday, and we just posted a VIN about it, so that's exciting. And we're about to take off on our journey again. We're headed about 20 miles a day up towards Carson City, Nevada, and we're really excited. We can't wait to get rolling, and say some prayers for us, and we're gonna have some fun. So we'll see y'all later. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Enjoy the background behind us. All right, Nettie, we'll see you later.
Bye, Pat.
What's up, guys? I tell you what, I wanted to show you what we're looking at right now. We're going down this little itty bitty dirt road up by the mountains. If you look behind us, it's the Sierras. It is so gorgeous right now, and Gammy is being a champ. It is such a blessing. This is like God's country out here. Almost immediately after making this really game-changing decision to skip a section of the Sierra Mountains, we then again had to turn around and make another important decision that we didn't know how people would react to.
Morning, guys. We're off to a little bit of late start today, but we just couldn't help but take in this beautiful day. As you can know, there's a little bit of a change here. One, this awesome hat to keep us out of the sun and relaxed, and the second one is we got a saddle. I know we said bareback and bridleless at 2,500 miles, but after the last couple days of riding Gammy, what I noticed, she's starting to get a little bit tight in her back where my butt has been sitting and trotting up and down these big hills. In Texas and Kentucky, there's not a lot of big hills to practice on, so she was just a little bit tight this morning, and I'm just trying to protect her back. As we've said this entire time, it's about the horse. It's about protecting our relationship, because this horse will do anything for me. I honestly hate riding in a saddle. I'd rather ride bareback. I haven't ridden her in a saddle more than 2 times in the last year and a half. But I want her to be safe. I want her to be comfortable as we get used to the mileage, as we get used to going longer distances and times. And if I have to put on a saddle on her to get her comfortable and get her fit, that's what I'm gonna do in this environment. And I'm not to say I'm gonna ride in a saddle every day, but I think if it's gonna be better for my horses to wear a saddle instead of having that wear and tear on their back over and over and over again, constantly at 2,500 miles, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, a couple of years ago, there's no way I would have made this adjustment. But as I preach all the time, the horse comes first. They will do anything for you, but it is our job to make adjustments for their comfort. We are still completely at liberty. We're gonna go all the way bridleless. The liberty will not change, but if I can make her ride a little bit more enjoyable, then that is exactly what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna take it back. We're only gonna go about 15 miles. We went 21 yesterday, but I just wanted to let you guys know we're trying to be transparent, and we're trying to be honest with you guys that it's important to change. The vision remains the same, but the horse always comes first. Love y'all. Have a great day. We'll talk to y'all later.
So after we made that first big decision, a second big decision came to me pretty clearly, and that was that we had to add a saddle. And it's not because I didn't love riding bareback. Actually, it was my favorite way to ride. But it was just a lot of toll on Gammy's back. There's a reason why people invented saddles in the first place, right? To take pressure away from their back, to allow them to ride longer distances. So what we decided to do was not only to ride bareback, but also to ride in an English saddle and a Western saddle and kind of do a little diversity. So the overall goal that we promised everybody is that we would ride from California to Kentucky completely bareback and completely bridleless. But what we learned very quickly is that we needed to make the change, and we had to support our horses' backs, and we had to support their physical ability if we were able to make this long journey ahead of us. So it's pretty wild to think at the beginning of the trip, we had to make 2 game-changing decisions. Decisions that could have, again, ruined the trip for a lot of our followers, to a lot of the people that supported us, to our sponsors, and said, look at these guys, they're already failing before it even began. But in my mind, from the beginning of the trip, I wanted to make it real. I wanted to make it about the horse. And it wasn't about riding coast to coast. I didn't care about riding coast to coast. I just wanted to prove, mostly to myself, that a trip like this could be done. Riding 2 Arabian horses across the country, through cities, through small towns, through deserts, over mountains, across the Mississippi River, completely bridleless. And that, my friends, was so important. And if I didn't put my horse first, it didn't matter how far we made it bridleless, because I knew deep down inside that it wasn't right.